G'day. Just thought I'd have another rant today. I'm not in a good way actually. Yesterday was just overwhelming. I'm shaking like a leaf. Couldn't eat dinner last night. Something big is happening. Sorry, I know I'm an alcoholic. I needed to get over the shakes. I'm cold, but it's all right. It's all good. I wanted to rant about where I went yesterday. Really, I found this amazing old ancient tree. She was just twisted and gnarly and awesome. Just, you probably saw her from the pictures yesterday. If not, go onto my Facebook page, Ross Thatcher from Clunes, New South Wales, Australia. I can't even drink, I'm shaking too much. Anyway, about this tree. Back when I was cleaning the pubs in Byron, I used to clean the Northern and the Rails. I worked my way up from being, the young junior there, shit kicker, shit scrubber extraordinaire. And after a couple of years, I managed to invest into a small pet store that was closing down, and my ex-wife. And so I'd be cleaning pubs at 4 in the morning, rush home for a quick coffee and a shower, and then go and work in my pet store all day long. I did that for about 7 years until the marriage fell apart. Too much stress. And then I got back into cleaning again and ended up buying the business. I was successful enough to actually buy the business. I was starting mostly at about midnight or 1 a.m, working right through the whole night, and then about 7 or 8 I was usually finished. I had a few people working for me, which was always handy. Couldn't do it without them. And then I'd reward myself after all my hard work all night long, going to the beach. It was a beautiful clothes optional beach too, which it's good for your skin to get out in the sun and get the whole skin exposed to it and sweat out of any toxins and stuff, which allows you to be an alcoholic, I guess, and still remain relatively healthy. And anyway, I used to start exploring different parts through the bush, scaring a few perverts out too, because there's a few masturbators in the bush there that they'd come running when I got there. So anyway, I was doing a bit of good there, and I was searching for the perfect tree that I wanted to be my sort of sacred spot, and I found her one day. It was amazing. She was a beautiful, tall, long, straight trunk, double trunk actually. Couldn't climb it. It was impossible to climb. It was too big and smooth and high before you could get to the first branches. So it was a real challenge for me, which was good because I love a challenge. Anyway, she had the 2 trunks, and in the middle of it there was a well, like a well shaped like that. You could stick your whole arm down into it. The reason I found that out is because I had a little multi-tool with me, and there was a branch wedged right in between the 2 trunks, which I thought, it looked a bit painful, so I thought I'd try and tap it out. I had a little hammery bit on the end of this multi-tool as a folding knife and saw and all that sort of shit. So I'm going tap, tap, tap to get this branch out, and I dropped it into the well. I put my arm into it, and all the way down, couldn't reach it. The tree had outwitted me. She was a beauty. So, I wanted to get my tool back, because I couldn't let a tree outwit me. So eventually I went back again, because I went back there regularly all the time. I took a long coat hanger. It was like one of them plastic coated metal ones with the hooked end, and got my tool back. It was such a amazing challenge that. It was really hard. But climbing her was even harder. Now all these trees, right, there's very specific type. There's a beautiful big example one right at the top of St. Helena, which a lot of people have scratched their names into and said how much I love it. That's like the king of the trees, that one, sitting there at the top of the hill looking over all the others of the easternmost point. Anyway, this is one of that same type, but these ones in the wild, they always have these companion trees nearby them, and it's always in the same spot. Like, they just seem to know where to come up off to the, well, you wouldn't say because it's around Earth, but you wouldn't say left or right, but it was over this way from the tree, and it was a spindly little thing, but it was just enough that I was able to climb up it. And then it took me 3 days returning back to get the courage up to do this. That's how difficult it was, because the tree was quite flimsy and I had to get right to the tippy top of that, then reach and jump up into the branches and grab onto one. And eventually I did it. I was like, yeah! And it was the most best tree ever. Like, once you're up in the branches, it was beautiful. You could live in that tree. But, you know, I wasn't there to hurt them or anything. And that's how eventually I found another one, which is right near the beach, where I was able to hang a hammock and have my perfect little piece of paradise that cost me the price of a hammock. And it was just wonderful. I just wrapped it in a tent fly and left it there disguised in the tree. Nobody ever discovered it, and I had it there for over a year, maybe nearly 2 years. So eventually I sort of stopped going there and it got mouldy. But anyway, so I'm up in this tree, and then I was like, well, shit, I've got to get down again too. And one time, you know, I found a few spots. There was a bit of a sand dune over one side where it was pretty easy to walk out on this branch and just jump off onto that. And there was other spots you could just hang down and drop a bit of a ways. It wasn't too difficult to get down, really. There's one day, right, I'm walking across this branch, and this tree, mate, she loves to outwit me. I was buck naked too, by the way, because it's a nature reserve there, and I was always in the nude. It's a great freedom to be naked without perverts around. So I'm walking out on this branch, thinking, yes, I'm going to get to that dune there and I'm going to jump, and the branch just snapped and sent me plummeting to the earth. Fortunately, I had a chair, plastic chair I found somewhere in the bush. Somebody had obviously abandoned it. There's a few illegal campers up that way too, so they just and I had this chair at the bottom of the tree, and it broke my fall, thank goodness, because otherwise it would have been real nasty. And got up, shook myself off, and was like, wow, this tree, she's amazing. But I conquered her in a nice way. Like, she didn't like it when I first got up in her branches. I could feel her protesting. But she was like, she had to admit defeat, because I'm the man. I'm the man. So anyway, yesterday, when I was trying to go back, not to that tree, she got destroyed in a big storm. Half of it ripped over, pushed over by this massive storm where there's lots of trees were uprooted at the time. But this other tree, which is right near the beach, that's where I was going for yesterday. But you know, I just followed my instincts, and I got called to this other spot. And eventually I crawled under the canopy of this gnarly old, beautiful tree, and she communicated with me. She's connected to the world, to Sophia, the mother goddess. And I just basked in her glory for hours and hours. I climbed up in the branches a bit, and I was drinking my 44 beer. And I overdid it. I think I overdosed on love. And that's why I'm feeling so shaky, but I'm getting better. And the world is getting better. And I can feel this big miracle is coming. It is really happening. And everybody can join in on this. Again, it's not about the money, it's just about the act of putting 22 cents into Ancients at Hotmail through PayPal on the 22nd of June this year. It's coming up in less than 3 weeks now. And mate, something amazing is going to happen. We have her word. She is alive. She loves us, and we are part of her. We are her children. And it's going to be awesome. Take care, my people. Love you. Mwah.